A Dallas salon owner is now thrown in jail for opening up her business before the mandates were lifted. Fox 5 legal analyst Wendy Patrick joining us now to explain all this. Wendy, good morning.
Good morning, Raul.
Seems we're seeing this all over the place. What was this particular case about?
Well, this particular case went viral for a couple of reasons. The first and foremost reason that most small business owners can relate to is the fact that she had to make a choice between personal health and public safety. When I say personal health, I mean the health financially of herself and her employees. Like many business owners across the country, she couldn't make her house payment. She couldn't put food on the table. She was faced with all of those challenges. But her solution was a little bit different. She didn't go to jail for cutting hair. She went to jail for contempt of court. The court basically said, hey, you can't open yet. The state's not open. You're not an essential business. She said, I'm going to do it anyway. So not only did she get fined $7,000, but she got 7 days in jail. That was only cut short by the governors changing the order, literally giving her a get out of jail free card by saying you can't jail people for opening businesses early.
And this goes along with half of the officials are telling you one thing, the other half of the officials are telling you the other thing. That's why people are confused. Senator Ted Cruz flies in. He gets a haircut from this lady. So what's the message to the public here?
Well, Senator Ted Cruz is one of the public officials that took to the airwaves and said she's in jail for cutting hair. She's not. She's in jail for contempt of court. She defied a restraining order saying she couldn't open yet. Be that as it may, the outrage is because people don't feel the punishment fit the crime. We don't want to empty our jails to make sure people are kept safe and then fill them with manicurists and hairstylists.
Right.
And that is one of the reasons that Ted Cruz, Sarah Palin, there's a growing list of notables that have stopped by the salon. But here's what Shelley Luther's defenders are saying. She's not using that GoFundMe money that she gained simply for personal gain. She's not only sharing the wealth, but she didn't set out to become a folk hero, a glamorized lawbreaker. She basically wants everyone to know she's not trying to start a revolution, but a conversation. In other words, should we have more of a dialogue between small business owners and public officials regarding who can open safely?
Yeah.
Sometimes it's safer in a hair salon, so goes the argument, than maybe it is in Costco and a grocery store because of the precautions they've taken to protect customer both comfort and health.
Similar thing happened to the gym owner right here in Oceanside. He didn't get the big fine and the 7 days in jail, but he was held by police. So it's a very similar thing. What are we supposed to do then when the health officials, the state officials, the city officials are telling us one thing, though? Because it seems like some business owners are not happy with what they're saying. They want to stay healthy, but they're saying, no, you can't open. It makes you kind of pull your hair out a little bit.
Well, it's true, and the frustration is palatable. And when you look at the difference between personal choice and public safety, health and wealth, all of the things that governments have to balance, not to mention the statistics that differ from jurisdictions, which then, of course, Raul, as you were saying, depends on who can and can't open. Best thing we can do, obviously, we have to follow the laws, follow the order, but why not have more of that conversation that Shelley Luther's case has sparked to try to determine maybe there are ways in which small businesses, whether it's gyms, salons, all the things we're used to taking for granted, can open earlier than anticipated with appropriate social distancing measures in place.
And that would be the same for other businesses as well. It would influence them in the same way, right?
Absolutely. And we're back to the original question of when do you qualify as an essential business? A liquor store and a smoke shop are essential businesses, but a church isn't, a hair salon isn't. We have to justify those distinctions because those are distinctions with a difference, particularly to the people that are losing out on making an income because for whatever reason, they're deemed too dangerous. They have to stay closed.
Who's to define what essential is and to whom, and that makes all the difference. The bottom line here is we're in an uncharted territory, a time where people are really just trying to figure everything out as we go, including the lawmakers, including the health officials, yes?
That's true, and that's exactly why Shelley Luther's case out of Dallas is so significant, is we are talking about it more so than we ever have before. In fact, in that state, the governor actually chose to allow salons, for example, to open earlier. And if you look at the correlation, it sure seems like it was in reaction to what happened to Shelley Luther. And who's to say that other jurisdictions aren't going to follow suit?
I want your thoughts on Elon Musk. He said he's going to defy the lockdown. So, I mean, you take it to that next level. Elon Musk defying lockdown orders, reopening the Tesla factory in Fremont. What does that mean for him? He's threatening, I'm going to leave California. He got into it with Lorena Gonzalez, the assemblywoman from San Diego. What does that mean?
That has been a very interesting saga to watch, and we don't know whether he's going to get 7 days in jail, whether he's going to pay a fine. I'm sure he cares a lot about that. But it's another one of those instances where it's not about glamorizing law breaking. It's about starting a conversation as to how we can follow the law safely without losing money. So we are going to see cases like that where other people say, well, I'm just going to defy the law.
Sure.
But again, we need to talk about why, what the reason is, and whether or not you can prove that you can open safely.
I think people's patience running thin, obviously, and we can
Patience
see it.
versus the paycheck. That's the way I've been characterizing this debate.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. People say don't put money above people's health, but then everything comes full circle. If you really delve into it, everything affects everything. Wendy Patrick, we'll talk to you again, I'm sure.
Thanks, Raul.
All right, thank you.